Hey everybody, this is Bernie from Heavenly Scent Trail, and you're listening to the Scent Trail Podcast, the show that explores the art of scents, perfumes for people who love fragrances. And with me today is Chris, also known as Fragrance Overload.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How you doing, Chris?
Hey, man, you know, I am excited. I am thrilled for this journey and this endeavor that we're on. And man, I can't wait.
Brother, I am just so happy to be here.
Yes,
First of
sir.
all, here with you, and it's been a long journey to get here. You know, here we are, our first podcast. This is truly exciting, my friends. And this to me is a dream come true. I want to express my gratitude to God, my supporters, my followers, my family, and my co-host for helping us get here.
Yes.
We couldn't have done this without you. This podcast is for you and it is dedicated to you. So what can you expect from this podcast? Well, we are going to explore everything from latest trends and fragrance to fun facts. We are also going to share fun facts that are going to surprise you. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the hottest fragrance news out there. And that's not all. Prepare for some engaging discussions that go beyond just scents. All I ask is that you join us for this exciting journey on the Scent Trail.
Yes.
Now, let me introduce you to somebody that's very special. Chris, are you ready for your introduction?
Hey, man, I'm ready. Just make sure you make me look good, man.
Well, for everyone who doesn't know Chris, let me tell you a little bit about my co-host. Chris is a genuine, authentic man. He is a God-fearing individual with strong focus on family and has unparalleled passion for fragrances. He takes pleasure in mentoring others and also giving back to his community, all while delving into the world of scents.
Yes.
Currently, he is thrilled to embark on the journey of fatherhood, eagerly anticipating the joys that come with welcoming a baby girl into his life.
Yes.
And so, brother, let me tell you something. I am so excited for you because you know that I have two girls.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm not going to lie, man. I'm super excited. Every moment with her, seeing her grow has been such a touching moment, and time seems to be flying. And personally for me, man, this is one of the best journeys that I could ever embark on as a father.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's one of the best. And now, fashion also plays a big part of Chris's life. And he believes that when a person smells good,
Yes, sir.
looks good,
Yes, sir.
and feels good,
Always.
they can't lose.
Not at all.
And so that to me is, a good co-host. Now, as far as I'm concerned, as you guys know, I'm a God-loving family man, father of two girls, and I love to cook. Career-wise, I am a corporate digital marketer, content creator, mentor, and the owner of Heavenly Scent Trail, a company that specializes in the promotion of fragrances. And that's just a little bit about me. Now, are you ready to dive into the Scent Trail?
Hey, even if they're not ready, we ready. So there's only one thing to do, Bernie. What we got to do?
Let's go.
Let's make it happen.
All right. So on today's podcast, I want to share something very exciting. I want to share some insights on a recent conversation that I had with a brand ambassador for a very famous house. And it is a house that a lot of fragrance enthusiasts are very familiar with. It is called the House of Creed.
Yes.
It has history. It is one of those houses that has been around for a long time.
Yes.
260 years. And so I had a conversation, Chris, with a gentleman by the name of Louis Cavallo.
Okay.
He is a very well-connected, very well-respected in the fragrance world and fragrance industry in general. And he has strong ties to the Creed family,
Okay.
to Oliver Creed himself. And so in this conversation that I was having with him, what was interesting was I wanted to find out what is Creed up to? What are they going to do to stay on top of the game? And
Of
so I
course.
asked him, I said, Lewis, what's the future of Creed? What are you guys going to come out with? And he said, come closer. I can't tell you too much, but he revealed some groundbreaking news that I thought was pretty interesting.
Okay.
He said that they are getting ready to launch a fragrance that's going to have an ingredient that is going to shake the fragrance world.
Okay. All
And
right.
so I was like, wait a minute. What are you saying? I mean, we have already smelled everything. And as you know, I mean, there's a lot of ingredients in the fragrance community or the fragrance world that have made a difference.
Absolutely.
And one of the ones I can think of is ISO E or
Yep.
Super, and which helps to project your fragrance.
Correct.
And then you have Ambroxan,
Yep.
which also helps,
To
with the performance of the fragrance. So, Chris, what do you think Creed is up to? What do you think they're going to come out with that is going to change the game?
Before we even get into that, just about the House of Creed, right? There's something so important about him because Creed is synonymous to luxury. It's synonymous to elegance, sophistication. So when you hear the House of Creed in the fragrance community, you automatically think of high-end fragrances. And I mean fragrances that really change the world. Let's think about Aventus. Let's think about Royal Oud. Let's think about Green Irish Street, Millicene Imperial, one of the ones you love. Let's even think about Absolute Aventus, which is just divine. Those are just straight bangers, right?
Yeah.
And when you think about it, you're like, okay, now what's next?
Yeah.
Because Aventus have been duped a million times, but
Absolutely.
now we're thinking about what can they do to really elevate themselves, to really make them stand head and shoulders above the remaining other fragrance niche houses.
Yeah. And I think it's almost like a legacy thing
Yeah.
too. I think fragrance houses that innovate are the ones that are going to stay on top of the game.
Always.
And if you're not innovating, if you're not trying new things, then you stay behind. And I think that's why Creed has been so successful, because they just haven't been afraid, to push the envelope when it comes, to fragrances. So I think that whatever they're up to, it's great. It's great for other companies too, because it puts everybody in check.
Oh, absolutely.
And and everybody's like, oh, wait a minute, what's Creed coming out with? What are they using? So I think some of the other fragrance houses are going to be also trying to find out what this
Always.
ingredient is, because somebody tells you that an ingredient is going to revolutionize the fragrance industry, you pay attention.
Always. And one of the things that's important about that is if you really sit down and you talk to other people who are into fragrances, people in the fragrance community, one of the first things that they'll always tell you is, man, for that price point, is it really worth, jumping in and purchasing a fragrance from these niche houses? Let's just say Creed, for example, because that's the topic of discussion. Now, you really have to tell yourself, are you bringing in the kind of quality that's going to make it say, man, it's worth jumping in and buying this? Because, sometimes, we get fragrances just because we have a collection, to talk about it. But is this a fragrance we're really going to love? Is this a fragrance that the community is actually going to go ahead and jump on board and says, man, this now reminds me of the old Creed, the Creed that when people sprayed it on, people knew, man, that individual here smells elegant. They smells incredible. And, the past few fragrance releases, it was kind of, okay, like Delphinus had came out, Centaurus also came out, and it's kind of like, okay. But what's going to be the new creation that Creed is going to put together to really take hold of the fragrance game? And that's personally one of my biggest things. That's what making me wait in anticipation.
Yeah.
Because I want to know.
Absolutely. And, I think, and I'm just going to go back to innovation. Anyone who's innovating that is going to elevate the fragrance game, listen, I'm there.
Absolutely.
I'm there. And, we're fragrance guys. So
Yes.
we're looking at everything.
Oh,
And we also want you, to smell good. And that's why we buy all these expensive fragrances, because we want you guys to also experience what we experience.
always.
And, but yeah, it's very interesting that it's 2025 and they're innovating. They're coming out with a new ingredient. I think we pretty much have smelled everything.
Yeah.
But that to me is very intriguing. It's very intriguing. I was going to ask you, Chris, what do you think? What do you think if a company doesn't innovate? What happens?
Well, one of the first things I think always happens to companies who don't innovate or they just get left behind. They are remembered for a blimp of time. Oh, you remember when this company dropped this release? Yeah, but then they faded out. But when you have a company like Creed who's been doing this for so long, for as long as they have been, and making sure that they remain relevant, you have to consistently reinvent yourself, even as a whole, to make sure that the audience, the consumer, who we are and our audience also is, we got to make sure what's going to make them want to jump on board and continue to keep us alive, continue to push that legacy, because it's much more than just scents, because everybody, we have dupe houses that make them, but what makes you different?
Yeah.
What makes you stand out? And we know that about Creed. We just need them to go ahead and jump back in there and make it happen again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was reading into the history of Creed.
Yeah.
And to my surprise, they started as tailors. They were, tailors. They made suits, they made dresses. And then, they got into fragrances, which I found interesting. I was like, wow, that is very interesting.
But, that also makes me think to myself and makes me wonder, look, you can't separate fashion and fragrances.
Yes.
Because, it's one thing when you just have, somebody who smells good. But, like I always say, you got to smell good, you got to look good, and you got to feel
That's
good.
right.
Then it's
That's
game
right.
over. So, when you have that type of scenario, a well-dressed individual, a well-dressed gentleman, and then you add some, amazing fragrance along with it, this is just a duo that just can't be, you can't separate that. You can't beat it.
Yeah, you can't.
So their history is very rich, and it's a history, when you think about it, that has royal ties.
It does.
Especially when you think about Aventus for Her, which was, one of those fragrances that was inspired by
Queen Victoria.
Queen Victoria herself, because of her love of riding horses.
Yeah,
so all of this kind of things behind the House of Creed makes them who they are now.
Yeah.
And so for us as a consumer, we love to wear Creed fragrances. People may say whatever they want, but we enjoy them.
Yeah.
They have some very great high quality fragrances, and I just can't wait. Lewis played with us, man.
I know.
He teased us.
He did.
Can't do this to us, man.
He did. And, something else about the House of Creed, obviously their history is rich, but they also, have ties to, King George III, Napoleon Bonaparte. Apparently, Napoleon Bonaparte had heard that King George III was using a fragrance made by Creed, and he wanted that same fragrance. That same fragrance is back there. It's called Royal Mayfair by Creed. And and it's a beautiful fragrance. And what I love about it is that supposedly Napoleon wanted something that reminded him of the green fields, of the green battlefield, but also he wanted something that smelled like pine and something else that smelled kind of like smoky, like smoky scent. Yeah. And so that attracted him to that scent. And so he asked King George III, to send them a sample or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
And it looks like, that happened. And so that fragrance is, they call it the fragrance
the King of Kings.
The King of Kings. Yeah, the fragrance King of Kings. And so, so that to me is just very interesting. So I say all that to say that, Creed has so much rich history. And the reason I love fragrance is because of that. Because, you follow a house that has done so much. It has so many historical facts. And that to me is just, it's always intriguing. It's always interesting. And you always learn, you always learn something.
Of course.
And as you know, every fragrance has a story.
Yes.
And Creed is very good at, making stories, behind these fragrances that they come out with. So I don't know what Creed is doing, but I think that whatever they're doing, I'm very excited.
Oh, man.
And I prodded Lewis. I really prodded Lewis. And he almost told me, he almost told me, but he goes, Bernie, I want to tell you, but I just can't right now. You will find out. But at least that something's coming. So anyways, that to me is just, that was a great conversation I had with him. And so we look forward to see, what's going to happen with that.
Of course.
And so, so what I want to do now is, moving on to the next topic. We want to do what I call today's scent trail spotlight.
Yes.
And I want to review a fragrance that is called Tabac Rose by BDK. Now, I think you just picked that up. Why did you pick that up, Chris?
All right. So listen, guys, funny story. I typically don't do this, right? Because I pride myself on knowing so much about fragrances and smelling incredible. But man, I went meet up with Bernie and we had a great dinner with our families. And this man just walked by me just a few times. And the sillage was just incredible. The scent trail was something that you just couldn't imagine. I'm just like, man, should I ask him what is he wearing? You know? And ultimately I gave in. I was like, man, what are you wearing? He said it was Tobacco Rose by BDK. And instantly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. At first sniff, smelling it, the same evening, I went home and I got one. The same evening. That's how amazing that fragrance is to me. It's something so alluring about it.
Yeah.
That's just so captivating.
It really
And
is.
so I oh my goodness. Y'all just got to get your nose on it.
You want to smell it?
Absolutely.
You want to
make
smell
it happen. Oh my goodness.
It's already hitting you, right?
Look, listen, man. Y'all don't understand. You guys are listening. You guys are watching. We need to invent smell-o-vision, because they got to be able to smell this through the screens, because this is just incredible, man. Oh, it feels. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's hitting me. It's hitting me from this side.
Oh my goodness. It's that beautiful little sweetness that you get, but then the tobacco note, the warm and spicy feel that you get with that, the combination. Oh my gosh.
It has plum. Let me read you the notes. Let me read you the notes. So we got top notes of plum. We have top notes of pink pepper and Italian lemon. So we start with that. And then the middle notes are Turkish rose, chocolate, and cinnamon. Base notes are tobacco, Indonesian patchouli, leaf, and Spanish labdanum. Brother, that is majestic. That is really majestic. And you know what's also interesting, Chris? The gentleman, the master perfumer who created this fragrance, his name is Julian Raskinet. Yeah. And Julian Raskinet is, like I said, a master perfumer, and he's he is the man. He's created fragrances such as Royal Oud by Creed, and he's also created another popular fragrance, very pricey, very expensive, which is called The Moon by Frederic Malle, and one that just came out that Mr. Cologne 76 was talking about was Juice Box 54, which I just got my nose on when we went to La Jetée the other day. And then another popular fragrance that he created was Hasivat X by Nishani. So this guy is killing it. What a track record.
No, truly, this is incredible. And I mean, that's just the beginning of some of the incredible fragrances that he's created. He has hundreds of other fragrances. I'm talking about also things that just grab your attention. And there's something so incredible when you're able to create a fragrance that just takes over a room. Like the presence that Tobacco Rose has is just immaculate.
It is.
Oh my goodness. I keep going back to it, and y'all probably think I'm overhyping, but it's not.
But
it's so good.
I consider that one a heavenly scent.
Yes.
I call, my company's called Heavenly Scent Trail, but there's certain fragrances that I consider heavenly. And I believe Tobacco Rose checks all those boxes. It is just majestic. It is majestic.
But I gotta tell you, I got a problem with Tobacco Rose.
Whoa. Well, tell me. Well, come on. Let me know.
I want to be honest with you, Bernie, because you're my guy, and to the audience. We really know when you have a collection, it's not just you wearing it. My wife is going to love this scent. I'll probably be lucky if I spray this a few times.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's such an incredible scent, but it's also unisex.
Oh, yes, of course.
It's also unisex and something that both men and women can enjoy. And my wife has chronic oversprayism.
Oh, one of those.
Man. So I already know the moment I go ahead and unbox this,
it's over.
Man, it's over. The bottle, literally over. But man, this is really a beautiful scent. I mean, I am sure that anybody who gets their nose on this is going to love this.
Yeah.
This is what you will call a attention grabbing, a seductive, borderline sexy, all in the same. Oh man,
this is what you wear when you're going, on a date.
Yeah.
When you want to impress. I mean, this is a fragrance where you want to impress, that special, lady or special someone. Put that on, and they're gonna be like,
game over.
It's game over. It's game over.
Yeah.
For sure. And so I'm very excited about that fragrance. I think, I think there was a few of my friends that were talking about it on Instagram, some of the influencers, and they put me onto it. They go, Bernie, you gotta check this out. And I, I was like, so I kind of slept on it. And then I think it was Fedicess or Mr. Cologne. They were talking about it. And I was like, you know what? Let me just get my hands on that.
Yeah.
And so I got it. I sprayed it. And I was like, dang, where have I been?
For real.
Because this fragrance is it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. Like, I can't say this enough. I want you to look at me now. This is too good. And it is something that is slept on. People always create top 10 date night, videos and talk about them. This has to be on list. This has to be a staple.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is something I would consider such a beautiful fragrance, especially for those special occasions, special evenings and night outs. I'm talking, this is in the same category as fragrances that I hold in high regards, like Grand Soir.
Yes.
Like, it falls in that category, and it's just immaculate. Oh man, thank you, Bernie, for wearing this when we went out, because I just added a banger to the collection, man.
Absolutely. And so Chris, to me, this fragrance, it's like I said, I've worn this to every event I've gone to lately. It's been Tabac Rose.
Yeah.
I don't leave home without it. Today was the only day that I didn't wear Tabac Rose because we were going to talk about Creed.
Of course.
And so I wore Royal Mayfair, but had I not worn Royal Mayfair, I would have worn Tabac Rose. And so, don't sleep on this one, guys.
Not at all.
Make sure to check Tabac Rose out because it's the real deal. Yeah. All right. So moving on, I just want to just say thank you to Chris. I want to say thank you to our audience. And I just want to summarize, what we've talked about so far.
Yeah.
So we have talked about that the House of Creed is making some innovations, groundbreaking, that is going to revolutionize the fragrance industry.
Yes.
What they're doing, we don't know, but what they're saying is get ready.
Yep.
Get ready. This fall, they're about to drop something big. So what that is, I don't know, but we'll find out soon. I also want to just thank, our audience, our followers, our supporters, our people who have stood with us through thick and thin, have gotten us to this point. I know that there are a lot of you out there. So you can see, I'm
spiffy.
I'm spiffy
as
today.
Always,
and so I have a sponsor. Somebody's sponsoring my outfit today.
Oh, word? Let us know.
Yeah,
I might need to check this sponsor out. Let us know.
Yeah, so I'm dressed by Mr. Perfect Fit.
Okay.
In Oviedo, and that's at the Oviedo Mall.
Okay.
And he has a very nice collection. So if you want to look like this, go to Mr. Perfect Fit, and he'll make you look really good.
Mr. Perfect Fit, we coming. We coming. Leave your doors open. We coming.
Yeah. And so I just want to say a big, big thank you to him because we have a great relationship.
Awesome.
And he said, Bernie, I got you. Every podcast, he said, I am going to make your outfit.
Man, can we just go ahead and give him a round of applause, man? Mr. Perfect Fit, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, for sure. And and also I just want to say thank you to, to our spouses.
Of course.
They're the ones that hold everything together.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Take care of the family while we do the crazy stuff that we do. Content creation is not an easy thing.
Not at all.
And you need very supportive spouses to be able to to accomplish and do the stuff that we do. And so for that part, I'm very thankful, to my wife, Cindy, who is watching. And also I know that your spouse is very supportive too.
Of course, Jess, I love you, baby. I love you. Thank you. Yeah, it's one of those things, man. We're entirely so grateful to each and every single one of you guys for being so kind, so loving, so supportive, and for helping us to not simply get to where we are, but also to help us get even further than where we are now. Because this is just the beginning. And we've gotten here. We're going to continue to supply these incredible content for you on both of our pages individually. But here at the Scent Trail, we are going to come heavy. We're going to give you all the best news. And we're going to make sure, most importantly, you stay up to date and that you smell good. Yeah. That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. And we do want you to smell good. One of the things that we're also going to be doing is we're going to be bringing guests in. And we're going to be bringing some big names, guys. Guys, get ready because some of the people that are coming are very interesting. They have been in the fragrance game for a long time.
Yep.
We're bringing people in the fashion industry. We're bringing people in the in every single industry,
Yep.
and we're going to talk about fashion, fragrances, and obviously smelling good. And so, yeah, so get ready because there are a lot of big things coming. And I wish I could just share everything with you guys. All the things that are happening in my life are just incredible. And so I want to share that with you. But if you stick with us, you are going to find out because I am going to spill everything out to you guys. And so, like I said in the beginning, this podcast is for you and is dedicated to you. And we are here for you. And whatever questions you may have, if you have any questions, please submit them.
Yes.
And also remember to follow us on our social media pages, Heavenly Scent Trail.
Fragrance Overload, you already know.
You already know. And we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook. And so make sure you subscribe. And I think we're now going to be on YouTube because this is our first podcast.
We coming.
We
breaking down barriers and kicking doors, man. We taking names.
We are trying new stuff. And so it's very exciting, very exciting. And I know that as we move forward, and you guys continue this journey with us, we are definitely going to be in this together.
Of course. And I just want to say one thing before we go ahead and sign off, Bernie. I just really want to appreciate you for all that you're doing, all the great work, making this come alive. And so that we can go ahead and do what we're doing, man. It's phenomenal. Kudos to this man. Go ahead and make sure in the comments you hit a lot of Bernies for this man. A lot of Bernies. Go ahead and give him some cheers because it would not be possible without you, without your initiative, without the things in which you're doing, not simply for, content creation, but just in the community overall. So this is incredible. I owe a great debt of gratitude to you. And, this partnership is going to always be incredible. I really believe it. Led by God, combined together, we're going to accomplish great things. And most importantly, to each and every single one of you, we can't do it without you. We can't do it without your support. We typically tell you to keep things on the hush, but this is one you can't keep on the hush. Spam it everywhere. Share it with everybody you know. Make sure everybody knows that the Scent Trail podcast is here and we're here to stay. And we're here to make sure you not only look good, you not only smell good, but you also feel good and get some laughs in. That's it, man.
That's it. So until next time, Bernie here with Heavenly Scent Trail with
Fragrance Overload, the one and only.